Hey guys, it's Bella. This is our last show of the semester, which is so crazy. I cannot believe that we're coming to an end. It feels like it hasn't even been that long. Maybe it's just because Chapman Radio doesn't start until a couple weeks into the semester. But I feel like this time that I've shared with you guys has gone by so quickly, and I'm so sad that it's coming to an end. It's been a really quick semester, honestly. I mean, it may just be because I'm a senior, so it's my last of everything, so everything's going by kind of quickly. But I just feel like this semester went by insanely quick. But then sometimes I look back at different moments I had throughout the semester and I'm like, wow, that feels like it was like so long ago. But still, like the entire thing went by so quickly. It's finals week and I'm not too excited about that. There's quite a bit going on. I had a final exam before Thanksgiving break and that was one of the only exams I have, but I'm in 6 classes this semester. So I have a lot going on. I'm actually this episode I'm doing today, this was optional. I don't know, like, for my friends that listen to Chapman Radio if they know, but this is like a course I'm doing right now, so I get credit for it. So I had the option of not doing it today, but I want to do it to like close out the semester and the show for this season. Hopefully, I'll be coming back next semester. Not gonna lie, got a little bit freaked out at the Chapman Radio Awards. They were like, we need to cut back on some things. I was like, oh, like, okay. They just like told all of us, they're like, we need to be more selective or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's super scary to hear and then release us for 6 weeks. And we wait to find out in the spring, I think. But I hope I get to come back because I really like doing this. And also, it's my senior year. So, this is the last time I'm going to be able to do anything for Chapman. It really sucks because I feel like the first couple years I was here, I wasn't very involved in school. And then all of a sudden, my senior year, there's all these things I learned about that I could do. I mean, I've been trying actually to get into Chapman Radio, I think for like 3 or 4 semesters probably. And it just always got picked too fast. But then I think the older you get, the sooner registration is. So I was able to get this semester. So hopefully I can get next semester. Next semester, I don't think we get credit for our shows. We become part of the club. But then I'm doing Chapman Radio 308, which is like the upper level class. And I think it's special event broadcasting. I may be wrong on that. I don't really know. But there's only a couple people in the class, I'm pretty sure. But one of my friends is in it. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm a little overwhelmed because for finals, I have had like a bunch of projects already and stuff. A bunch of my teachers kind of broke things down super like incremented. So we like we started our final projects like weeks ago, which honestly makes them more intense because then it puts so much more pressure on it when I feel like I could put like forward a good product, but when you go through like 20 lines of like review and like revising things, you kind of start to lose sight of what's correct or what's even good or what the teacher wants. So I'm a little overwhelmed with that. I also took on a final for one of my classes where we could either do an essay or a creative project. And I was like, oh, I'll do a creative project. Like, that's fun. And I'm excited. But the thing I'm doing, I'm like painting. And that's a lot of fun. But I was kind of like, damn, that's kind of fucking stupid. Because that's going to take so much longer than just writing an essay. But anyway, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I had a group project presentation the other day for one of my classes. It was for my business class. And basically, the group that gave the best presentation got 15 extra points, and we all had to vote on whose team was the best. And one of the first groups to go was a presentation on Tesla, and this bitch fucking brought in Tesla toys that were like $80 each, like little Tesla trucks and stuff, to give away to people if they answered questions correctly. And I got so pissed off because I was like, damn it, like I can't afford that. Like, who the fuck is doing that? They didn't get our vote from our team, to say the least. But so I tried to figure out what I could do for my team. Our presentation was on Taco Bell, so I got 2 $5 gift cards for Taco Bell to give out to people. We didn't tell them how much they were, but I think people were still excited to get something, you know. We didn't win, which sucked. This teacher that I have, I really don't like him. I like told one of my other teachers about him because he just says a bunch of super creepy things like all the time. He he like asked a bunch of people in the class if they were single, like, but like more specifically like women, and it was just weird. He also was talking about social media and how it works with business, and like Tinder was one of the social media apps, which like in my like I understand how that's social media, but I don't think it's like that's the main thing, you know, like there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's Twitter, like there's so many other things you could have said. And he asked one of the girls in my group, he was like, do you have a Tinder? Like, isn't that inappropriate? Anyway, we didn't win the extra points, but I got super pissed off because I have all A's except this one fucking class, this business class I'm in. I have an 89.25, which is 0.25 points away from being an A. And if I got those fucking bonus points on the presentation, I would have an A. But now I don't, and I need to get a 100% on our final exam to get an A in the class. So no pressure there, obviously. I have a lot of stuff to do, and it's going to be just like a push, I know, but it's all going by so quickly, which is making me sad. I'm not super excited to go home. I feel like a lot of people get pumped to go home for the holidays, but I guess it's less like exciting for me. Maybe just because I live so close. So I'm only going like an hour away. And also, like, where I live with my mom is like the same size as my apartment at school. And it's just a lot to be living in such tight quarters with your parents when you're this age. Being in your 20s is so fucking weird, like living with your family, because they don't understand that you live by yourself and you do whatever you want when you live by yourself, and you don't need to tell them where you're going at 9 p.m. at night. And it's not even like that I care that my mom knows what I'm doing. It just like feels invasive. It feels invasive. Like, why are you knowing everything that I'm doing? Like, I'm an adult. It feels inappropriate. I don't know why. Also, so I feel like I'm talking kind of slow. I made a mistake this morning. And I made like a bunch of holiday cookies, but they're special holiday cookies. They have a bunch of pot in them. There's like a fucking fourth of weed in there, I think. Maybe more. I don't know. And I don't even know how many cookies were made, so I don't know how many milligrams is in each one, actually. But I was going to the gym this morning. I was like, oh, like, I want to eat a cookie, thinking it wouldn't be that strong because I have a pretty high tolerance. And like 20 minutes later, I was taking my vitamins and I felt like I was going to fucking fall over. It's like, holy shit. But if I'm talking a little slow, that's why. Don't El Sporta Fitness. That's what they call the LA Fitness in Santa Ana. I don't know why they like changed the name of it, but it's still LA Fitness. But I went there and I was like actually fighting for my life. I usually go on the treadmill or the elliptical, and I had to go on the bicycle because I felt like I was gonna once again fall over. Anyway. I had not a ton of fun, but I tried to get through it still. I don't really like my gym. I've been going to LA Fitness since I was literally like a child, I'm pretty sure, because me and my mom used to go together, I'm pretty sure, because there was a hot tub there. To the one in Westwood in LA. But we used to go there, so I've just always gone there for the rest of my time because it's just been easiest. Like, I have a membership there. It's a reasonable price. It's not a bad gym. The only issue is I'm like the only fucking person my age that goes there besides like gross men. And it's not fun going to the gym being a woman, let me tell you. Let me tell you, I get just like weird looks. I get people taking photos of me. I get people coming up to me. It's not fun. So I'm trying to find a new gym. I don't know if I actually will. I always get so lazy and I'm just like, oh, it's easier staying at LA Fitness. It's so much easier. But it's not really worth it with all the shit that goes on. It's not a very comfortable place. It's like me and a bunch of middle-aged dudes and wife beaters like working out their triceps, like giving me grimy looks. Yeah, but anyway, I wrote a bunch of stuff down in my phone to talk about, and I always write stuff down and I have like no idea what I'm talking about the next day. Like I just wrote down birth control. Like I have no fucking I have no context as to what I was trying to talk about with that. But anyway, let's go through some of the things I have on the list for today. Oh, this is a good one to start out with. Okay, so I live next to this guy. I have really prime real estate, guys. I live behind Pike House and I live next to a bunch of frat guys, and a bunch of frat guys live across the street from me too. It's awesome. It like sucks. Like I call the police so fucking much on my street. Anyway, I have these guys who I'm pretty sure like second year super seniors or super seniors. They're old. They're like 24, I'm pretty sure. But they live next to me and like I kind of know them. Like one of my friends used to talk to one of them. And so this guy that one of my friends used to talk to, his roommate was standing on like not like the lawn of his house. Like we have like a sidewalk and then there's like little patches of grass next to where you can park your fucking car. And I walk outside. I'm like late to my 10 a.m. My 9 a.m. got canceled. I'm stumbling out. I'm fucking 20 minutes late to my 10 a.m. And this man is bent over, like hunched over, flipped over, like looking like he's touching his toes, clipping his toenails. He is clipping his toenails in the middle of the fucking street, bright and early in the morning at like 10:20 a.m. Like, thank you so much. It's so brutal living in a college town. There's so many things you see that you're just like, wow. Like, I've walked through the street and just seen whippets, like, everywhere. I don't know if you guys have seen that too. I know it's, like, definitely worse at other schools, but I have walked through the Orange Circle. I think it's, like, after the undie run usually, and there's just fucking whippets on the floor. I, like, don't understand the whole thing with whippets with people our age. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there's so much shit I say on here that I really probably shouldn't. But I did whippets one time. I did them at this frat party at the University of Michigan, and I actually felt so brain dead after. I completely lost any understanding as to why people would do them. People told me it's like when you vape for the first time, like getting a dome, like for the very first time when you've never tried nicotine before. I almost fell out of the chair I was sitting in. When I get like too fucked up, it's like I just want to collapse a little bit. Yeah, but they were horrible. I don't get why anyone does that. I'm pretty sure they're really popular with frat guys. They have to be like the dumbest drug you could do. Like, it's insane. It's like putting like gas straight to your head. Like, why the fuck would you do that? Anyway, I feel so weird always, like, when I have to wait to come on to here at night. Like, it's fun. I have so much fun doing it, but, like, because of the time it's at, I'm always, like, done with everything at 8, and then I don't know what to do, and I just sit on my couch scrolling through TikTok and trying to write down more ideas of what I can talk about, just in case I run out of things, or if I find something more interesting. Oh, this is a good subject given the time frame. I hope you guys all know what I'm talking about when I say the winter uglies. The winter uglies are basically during the winter how everyone looks like 10 times probably fucking worse than they do during the summer. Everyone's just paler. Like, I feel like your skin gets worse. Like, everything's dry. Like, everyone's sick all the time. You just feel like disgusting, you know? That's kind of how I'm feeling right now. I had a membership at Palm Beach Tan for like 5 fucking months. I had it for 5 months, like over the summer and over all of the semester because I have eczema. And when I was in high school, I used to go in tanning beds because it cured it. And I realized I had to stop doing that because, first of all, it's already a bad idea to do it if you don't have skin cancer running in your family. Um, it's really bad to do it if you do have skin cancer running in your family. It's not a good thing to do. It's not good. I also just turned Radio DJ off, and I really fucking hope that that wasn't playing over my voice the entire time. Anyway, yeah, I have the winter uglies. My skin's breaking out, which it hasn't done in months. I stopped doing the tanning bed membership because my grandmother literally had fucking skin cancer, and I don't know why I thought it was okay for me to go into tanning bed twice a week. So I canceled that. I fake tanned for the first time over Thanksgiving break, and I hated it. My tanologist tanning mousse broke, so I poured it all in a heat protectant spray bottle that was empty. I sprayed it all over my body. I looked fucking orange. The orange with the blonde hair just isn't cute. Did I look better than I did before? Yes, because I was less pale. Because when I look pale, I look bad. I feel like everyone looks bad when they're pale. It's just not. It doesn't look good, especially when you're blonde, with the yellow hair. It's not cute. But so I fake tan today. I put this gel over my body. I don't know if it actually worked. I always get scared with the fake tan that I'm gonna look like a fucking Dalmatian. I got a spray tan for Coachella, and I looked at my arm 2 days later, and the entire inside my arm was just fucking white. And I didn't notice it. It looked so bad. So fucking bad. I feel like I was so disappointed because I wanted to get some tea this week, but I didn't get that much. Oh, I did run into one of the people in the world I hate the most this week. So basically, my sophomore year of college, I went over to this fraternity house with my old roommate and one of his friends, and these two guys picked us up in this Range Rover. I had no clue who they were. They went to this girl's old high school, apparently. We got in the car with them. We went to this frat house. These guys were just no one knew who they were. They were disturbing the peace. They were at these people's house. They didn't know, causing mayhem. So the people that owned the house politely were you need to leave. These guys would not leave. They were doing a bunch of dumb shit. They cropped their shirts with a knife. They were just doing stupid ass things. And just being assholes. This one guy asked for my Snapchat. I'd given it to him. I don't know why. But they wouldn't leave. And so basically what happened eventually is the people that own this house, one of them is one of my good friends, had to force these guys out of the house. They wouldn't leave, got into a fight with the guys that own the house. They started beating the shit out of each other on their lawn. They started pulling out knives. They were threatening we have worse things in our car, implying they had a gun. Eventually, after all this, they got in their car and drove up and down the street, and they fucked up a bunch of cars on the way, scraping them down the side, just fucking them up. One of them was my friend's car. He tore off his entire mirror. My friend found out who the guy was, DM'd him, said, "You fucked up my mirror, you messed up my car, all this stuff, you need to pay for it. I'm gonna file a claim," whatever. The guy was such a fucking asshole. I've actually never met anyone in my life who's ruder and more degrading of people. The guy literally said to my friend, telling him all this, he was like, "You're fucking poor. Fuck you and your poor ass car." Don't quote me on this, but I'm almost pretty sure these were his exact words. "Suck my dick from behind and braid my ass hair." That was his response to breaking my friend's car from him drunk driving and being an asshole and violating and going on someone's property after they explicitly told him to leave. So I had called the police on this guy. It turns out the car was stolen, I'm pretty sure. And I remember thinking what was weird about the car is it was a Range Rover, but the front windshield was cracked. And I was just thinking, if someone has this much money for a car, why is their front windshield cracked? I don't know. That may be stupid. But that's the way I thought of it. I called the police. The guys had left, I think, by the the time the police were able to do anything. Yeah, but anyway, so then flash forward like 6 months, 7 months, whatever. I'm at this club called Bootsy Bellows in LA, and my friend Seb is DJing. And this guy comes up behind me. I remember exactly what I was wearing. I was wearing like that Jaded London, like torn up black mini like shredded dress, if you know what I'm talking about. And I was wearing stiletto boots that were 4 inches. And this guy comes up behind me and grabs my waist, is like trying to flirt with me, all this stuff. Whatever. We leave the night. I don't have any contact with him. I go into my Instagram DM request the next day, and he's in there. He's like, nice meeting you last night. All this stuff. I think he like asked me to hang out or like do something. He got my number. Whatever. I have no clue who this guy is. I just know he looks like some dickwad influencer. Whatever. But that's all that I had seen from him. But so then he's like texting me all this stuff. He's like, I want you. It turns out he's a rapper. He does all this, like, he's been like publishing this music on SoundCloud, like whatever. He wants me to do an album cover for him. And he sends me, also doesn't offer to pay me, would like to say that. Doesn't offer to pay me. Wants me to wear like straight lingerie, which also for modeling, there's a higher rate for lingerie and swim because you're naked. Doesn't want to pay me, all this stuff. I'm like, no. I basically keep blowing him off because also at the time I was seeing someone. I wasn't when I met the guy, but then like eventually through the summer I did start seeing someone. But anyway, flash forward like a month after I met this guy, I'm with my good friend whose house we were at that night, and he tells me, he goes, let me see that guy's Instagram. He goes, this is the guy that fucked up my car and said all that horrible shit to me, and I was blown away. I was like, oh my God. So obviously I stopped talking to that guy, and then like flash forward like another year. So this is like second semester of last year. I'm in my bedroom. I get a text from this motherfucker. And so keep in mind, I called the cops on him, like, and he doesn't know this. Like, I don't think he recognized me from Chapman at all, which is insane. Which is actually fucking insane. And like his friend was trying to like fuck me. Like, that's crazy. Anyway. Flash forward a year later, I'm in my room. I get a text saying that he needs people to model. Oh, so he also unfollowed me on Instagram. That's something I'd like to add in the middle of this. He unfollowed me on Instagram. So I unfollowed him too because I'm not a fucking fan. Are you kidding me? I don't like you. Like, you're an asshole. Anyway, I get a text from him telling me he wants me to model for his merch. It was literally some of the ugliest, dumbest shit I've ever seen. Like, I think it said something like I don't know what it was. It was like some dumb shit. It was like 3 words on a shirt. Anyway, he's asked me all this, and he's asked me a model. And so I give him my rate. I said it was more expensive than it actually was because I hated him. And I was like, you know what? If he wants to give me money, that's fine. But I'm going to do nothing else with this guy. He's an asshole. And he basically said to me, he was like, really? Like, my managers are saying this is too expensive. We can't work something out. Like, we're friends. Why are you trying to charge me so much? I was like, we're friends? You think we're friends? That's actually insane. It's crazy sometimes how people in LA work. People in LA are so fucking fake. They will pretend like they're friends with you or they know you just to get something done. I think it's so fucking weird because also I think some people in LA have gotten so conditioned to this that they actually believe that they're friends with people or that people don't have issues with them or dislike them or even literally hate them and hope they burn in hell. I hate this guy so much. It's just, especially shitting on someone for driving just like a standard normal car like any fucking college student would, being like you're poor after you broke their car. No, you're fucking poor. Like, why aren't you paying him? Like, maybe you're fucking poor, you asshole. Like, don't treat people less because of their like the items they have. I hate when people think shit like that's okay. It's not chill at all. But so it was my friend's birthday the other night, and this motherfucker, his name is Dirty Zan. I'll tell you his name. His name is Dirty Zan on fucking Instagram. His real name's Sebastian. Not to be mixed up with my friend Seb, who's one of my best friends. But I went to Seb's birthday dinner. I drove from Orange to LA because he was turning 24 and I wanted to see him. And this motherfucker was there. He was wearing like a shirt that said, "I'm not dead," and he had a friend whose shirt was saying sex. I don't know. He was there. He was talking to Seb's mom. I wanted to kick him in the balls. I hate being around people I don't like. I was like, "Seb, why'd you invite him?" He's like, "He was bugging me all day. Like, he wouldn't leave me alone." I'm like, "That's when you ghost someone." I was like, "That's like one of the only possibilities when it's okay to ghost someone. When someone's that much of a fucking asshole." Yeah, but if you ever get in contact with that man, run. He's so scary. I hate him so much. He also, when he said we were like friends, when he was like, "We're friends," what did I say? Let me pull it up. I haven't blocked. He didn't say hi to me, which, like, thank God, because I would have, like, made a scene. I would have been like, "Get the fuck away from me." He said, "You're acting like we're not friends." Because I said, like, I gave him a really high rate, and then I was like, "I can do this since you're friends with one of my friends." And he was like, "Friends with blah," I'm not going to say the guy's name, but he was like, "Friends with blah blah is crazy." He goes, "You're acting like we're not friends, quote unquote, friends with blah blah is wild. And no, they don't think you're the fit or vibe." Then, like, why'd you ask me? You reached out to me. I don't want to be involved with you. And then I said, this is what I said. I said, "We are definitely not friends. You are a horrible human being and you quite literally disgust me." I go, "Have a good day, Musty Molly," or whatever the fuck your SoundCloud name is. And then I put a skull emoji because his name is Dirty Zan. He's an asshole. I really hate people like that. And there's a lot of people like that in LA. And it sucks because I'm actually from LA. And people in LA get a bad rap because of assholes like him who are so mean to people and don't care about them or their time and just try to social climb and use people for their money and clout. Yeah, so I'm not a fan of people like that. It's always these, like, transplants. They're never from LA and they, like, make us look bad. Like, get the fuck out of my city. You're not welcome here. Oh, I had something else weird happen when I was at my friend's birthday dinner. It's gonna feel weird saying this because, like, people, like, probably aren't gonna believe me, but two of my friends also saw it, which was, like, amazing. Because if no one else had seen it, like, I don't think anyone would believe that this happened to me. But I was at dinner for my friend Seb, for his birthday, and we got, like, a free dinner at this place. I'm trying to find the name if it's in, like, my recent. Oh yeah, it was called Tribute Hollywood. It was like a speakeasy, like, bar. There was live music. It was super cute. It was in the middle of Hollywood. Anyway, we were in the bar and there was, like, this big ass window. Like, we were at this very large table and there was this window probably like 50 feet from us that looked towards the street. And it wasn't like a window, like, it was open. So it was just like a hole in the wall, I guess. And literally this guy walked by in, like, a full-on, very, very realistic Grinch costume. And when I say very realistic, like, I don't mean like it was just a suit. Like, it looked like this person was wearing, like, prosthetics. It looked so realistic. It looked like whoever the fuck this was had just walked off of, like, filming, like, the Grinch movie. Like, this creepy person walked by this window and waved to me like this all the way as they walked by, staring at me with their entire hand was, like, painted green with, like, the furry pointed fingers. It was insane. It gave me, like, the heebie-jeebies. They walked by, but my friends Carly and Guido saw it too, which is good because I don't think people would believe me otherwise. But it was really gross. It was really disgusting. It was scary. My friend had a DJ set after at this club called Spotlight, and I had to leave because when I leave my house, I put my dog in a crate, so she's, like, crate trained. And so I had to go back because I felt bad. And I was asking my friend to walk me to my car, and it said like no re-entry on the door, and I had to ask the security guard. I was like, please, like, I need my friend to walk me to my car. Like, I can't do this. Like, this is not this is not okay. I can't like walk by and have like the Grinch like pop out from under my car. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen like any of those things on like human trafficking and like sex trafficking. I always get freaked out at the gym, or like whenever I park at night anywhere, that someone's gonna be under my car and is gonna like pop out and slip my Achilles heel and like sex traffic me. I don't know if that's like other women's fears too, or if that's just me because some of the weird shit I've experienced. But it is something to be scared of. Or maybe I just watched like 60 Minutes too much. We learned about this theory in one of my classes called cultivation theory, and within it, there's these two different, like, that's the word. These two different, like, sub theories, and one is mean world syndrome and one is kind world syndrome. And with mean world syndrome, when you watch the news more and you see all these dark things, you think they happen more than they do. And so maybe that's just me freaking out. I don't know. I really don't know. I have so many things written down to like talk about. Oh, this is fun. So this week, everyone's Spotify Wrapped come out. Everyone's Spotify Wrapped came out. Whether you're an Apple Music user or a Spotify user, everyone's something Wrapped came out. And if you don't know what that is, which I feel like it'd be kind of hard not to. Sorry guys, I'm in like the Henley basement and I heard like a sound and it freaks me out. But like your Spotify Wrapped tells you like your top 5 artists and your top 5 songs of the year. And mine was actually insane, the contrast on it. My like number 1 song of the year was Close to You by Gracie Abrams. And then my second song was fucking Carnival. And then my third song was I Love You, I'm Sorry. Like, that is like an emotional like sandwich. Like, you can't tell me it isn't. Like, isn't that insane? Like, who let that happen? That contrast, like, that is so insane. They're so like, I feel like I'm either in like emo mode or I'm in like trying to hype myself up mode. And those are just, it really shows in my Spotify Wrapped every year. It's always humbling receiving it. It always is. It's always like humbling too, and people are like, oh, like what's in yours? And it's like, no, let's not talk about that. Like, that's none of your business. That's none of your business. What do I talk about next? Oh. Let's get into pop culture a little bit. If you guys are into pop culture like me, I'm sure you know that our queen Sabrina Carpenter and Barry Keoghan are rumored to have broken up this week. I honestly thought they broke up like 3 months ago. I honestly wasn't even ever sure if their relationship was real. It just seemed kind of ballsy to put someone you're actually in a relationship with, especially for not that long of a period of time. Like, they were only spotted out a couple of times. Just like slap them in your main like single release for your album. It just seemed a little absurd. It seemed a little unrealistic, and I thought they broke up so long ago too. But anyway, it's rumored that Barry Keoghan hooked up with Becky Hill. I don't really know who Becky Hill is. In all honesty, she looks like a thought. That's all I have to say on the matter. She looks a little bit like a thought. I mean, Barry Keoghan seems like a thought too, honestly. Like, he has a child with another woman who looks so much like Sabrina Carpenter. She's just like older and is his baby mama. And he has a baby whose name is Brando, I think, who's like a year old, which is so crazy. I saw this thing on TikTok that really just like resonated with me. It's like slightly offensive maybe, but it's really funny. So I saw this TikTok. So, okay, well, let me give context. If you guys went to a public elementary school, it was probably required that you read the book Wonder. The book Wonder follows this kid, Augie, who has some sort of facial dysmorphia. I don't know exactly what it is. I haven't read the story or watched the movie in a really long time. But basically, like, when the book came out, it doesn't tell you exactly what it is. So it's you kind of just imagine it in your mind. And so I want you all to really think about what Barry Keoghan looks like. I want you all to really think about what his little beady face looks like. So I saw this TikTok that said the first time I saw Barry Keoghan, it was the exact way I pictured Augie from the book Wonder to look like before the movie was released. And that really just stuck out to me. Barry Keoghan is a weird looking guy, and you know, it's always these ugly little rat dudes that cheat on these beautiful, successful, hot, sexy women. It always is. It's There's like this sound on TikTok I saw. I always talk so much about TikTok, but I see so much shit on it. Um I think it's from Euphoria, and it's of like Rue talking, and it's her saying like, once you give an ugly guy a chance, like, he thinks he rules the world. And I really think that that's a statement that is so fucking true, because all these ugly little mousy rat men end up with these beautiful powerful women, and they think they're on top of the world. Their ego gets like boosted and like inflated through the roof, and then they start acting like assholes because they think they're hot shit. I've experienced this firsthand. I was like seeing this guy, not this last summer, but the summer before, and my friends like to call him Flat Stanley. They also called him Heshy. He's just like your typical indie rich Malibu like fuckboy chrome hearts. And I was definitely out of his league, like 200%. Not sound like an asshole, but he was tinier than me. It was just he was not the vibe. He was like a dick, but there was something about that I liked, and I gave him a chance, and I was bored, and he was part of my friend group. And literally, like, this other guy that was one of our friends, who's the one that introduced me to him, said that he felt that, like, once this guy, let's call him Heshy, that's what we always used to call him, that Heshy's ego got really inflated once he started seeing me and he started acting like a dick. And then you know what he did? I went out of town on a trip that he was invited on, that with like our entire friend group, that he didn't go on. It was for like fair reasons, but still. But he didn't go on the trip, and then when I was out of town, he fucked his ex-girlfriend and cheated on me. We weren't dating, but like, I've sort of been, for the last couple years, I don't just like, I used to hook up with a lot of people. I like my sophomore year of college, I did numbers on my body count. And I just kind of realized, I think everyone says once you like have sex with a lot of people, it makes you kind of realize that it doesn't make you happy. It really doesn't. It kind of makes you feel like shit, and you kind of realize that all these people don't really care about you, and that you're just having sex to have sex. And so I stopped doing that. I only have sex with people now if I'm like seeing them, which I think is fair. I mean, it's also like, I feel like sex has been like so casualized, which it should be, which is like great. But also, like, it is, like, it's not, like, really chill. You're, like, jamming your genitals in someone else's. It's not really, like, it's, like, kind of uncomfortable with a stranger, like, you know? um, but, so I stopped doing that. So I basically told this guy, I was like, hey, like, my parents just split up. There were some issues with infidelity. And I will not keep like hooking up with you or talking to you, and I will never have sex with you if you're talking to or seeing other people. And he was like, okay. And then he fucked his ex when I went out of town, and then his ex cyberbullied me, which is really cool. It's really awesome. She called me like this big fat mammoth and all this shit and said I had chlamydia, which I didn't. But yeah, I feel like that's like a lot. We see this a lot in pop culture and also just with relationships in general. It's like you see these hot girls go for these guys. I saw this thing once again on TikTok today that was like, sometimes I look at men and I'm like, wow, how do you look that good like with no makeup? And it like kind of pissed me off because it's like because they don't have the same fucking beauty standards we have. They don't. Like, our standards are so much lower. We're expected to look perfect. We have to have perfect skin. Our bodies have to look a certain way. Our voices have to sound a certain way. We have to do our hair a certain way. We have to be skinny but not too skinny. Like, we can be smart, but we're not supposed to be smarter than our partner. And it's just like there's so many different things that we have to control. So then I feel like it's way easier for women to go for men that are lower than them because then the expectations and the pressure is a lot less intense, you know? And then once all that happens, these men just start acting like actual fucking cunts. That's the only... They start acting like actual assholes. Like, how fucking dare you? How dare you do all of that? It's not cool. It just makes you feel like shit. It really does. There's so many, like, different things. Oh, okay. This was in inspiration of the Winter Uglies. So I get very tan. Like, I have olive skin, but during the winter, I get very pale and pink, like a little piggy. And so that's why I have to fake tan. But the blonde hair does not look good with the pale. So that's why I have to keep fake tanning. And I want to dye my hair to my natural color so fucking badly. Like, I can't even describe how badly I want to dye it to my natural color. But the thing is, all of my modeling photos, my hair is bright fucking blonde in. So if I dye my hair darker, I'm going to have to redo all my photos, which actually quite a few of my photos are on the website from when my hair was really short and dark. So I don't think it matters that much. Like, I don't think, like, I told my agent and that's why I didn't do it. But I think if I didn't tell her, she wouldn't have really noticed. Like, also with light, no matter how dark blonde is, it still kind of reflects in a similar way. But I want to dye it dark so badly, but I'm also freaked out because I don't even know what my natural hair would look like at this point. I used to have, like, beautiful, long, golden blonde hair. And then when COVID ran around, I couldn't stand what was going on in the world around me. So my solution to the whole COVID crisis was to dye my hair neon fucking white. My hair was literally so white. I dyed it at home myself with like the ion bleaching and toning kit. My mom would do it. I had like a straight fucking like shoulder cut. It was not cute. Everyone told me not to do it and I was like, no, I look good. You know, I thought I looked good because I was doing drugs all the time. That's your sign not to do drugs, kids. Don't fucking do them. I thought I fucking ate. I thought I ate. I was so skinny. I was so pale. I looked like shit. My under eyes were so dark. And I just had this like chrome hair and it looked like ass. It looked like actual fucking ass. But so now I've had to dye my hair ever since. And my freshman year, I kind of like got my hair back to normal. And then that's when I realized I had to start dyeing it all the time because the dye would wash out and then my hair looked really white because it was super porous. But then I tried dyeing it myself. Like, if you're a woman, you probably know what money pieces are. If you're not, they're when you dye the front strips of your hair lighter. So I was like, okay, I'll dye the back of my hair like darker blonde one color and the front strips lighter blonde. Also, this is like when I didn't model, so I couldn't, like, it didn't really matter what I did. But I pulled a photo of when I tried doing this, and the dye developed super fucking dark. Like, it was dark brown, and then I bleached the front strips too much, and they were neon platinum, just the way they were during COVID, and I looked like a fucking skunk. Like, that's the only way I can describe it. I looked like an anime baddie. Like, that's like, here's a photo for the, oh, that's what it looked like. It didn't look bad. I don't know if you can see. I also had a septum ring in, like the cow one. I actually wanted to put it back in, and I ordered these nose rings, and I got 8 millimeters. And I knew my like little nose ring I usually wear is 9, so I was like, I'll get 8. That's fine. But I should have gotten 10. It like doesn't fit in my nose. I got it stuck. I was getting so frustrated. It's really hard to deal with when you get a little fucking ring stuck in your nose and you can't get it out. But I want to dye my hair dark, but I don't think I can. I was about to do it, but thank God I didn't, because I have a campaign coming up for this brand on the 20th. Which is gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited. I haven't done a job in a couple of months, and like I literally love working so much. It's my favorite thing in the entire world. And I'm also trying to figure out what I'm gonna do after college. So these next couple months and how I do with modeling is gonna determine quite a bit of stuff, which is scary. It's fun, but it's scary. Oh, this is fun. So I actually don't know if I talked about this. I have a really hard time because I don't remember if I talk about things and then I talk about them again. But this is like pretty. Someone said hello on the live stream and I have no idea who it is. Hey. Um anyway, uh um I went to this dispensary over break and I got this thing called the Big Baller Bag. And what the Big Baller Bag is it is from this dispensary called the Atrium in Woodland Hills, Los Angeles. And in Woodland Hills, Los Angeles, this dispensary, the Atrium, does on the last Saturday of every month. They do, if you buy $330 of weed, you get to walk out the door with $330 of weed. So that's what I did, and I've been indulging quite a bit. I've been getting really high a lot, which like isn't good because I'm in finals, but it's like fun because I get to do my projects and like ditz around. But that's why I made so many edibles, and yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. I um oh, what did I want to end on? Oh. I met with a new psychiatrist over Thanksgiving break, and I'm trying to figure out what's right to do for my depression. I haven't like talked about this a ton, or actually maybe I have, but like I've been like I've like struggled with depression since I was like very young, like since I was in middle school. And so now I'm trying to figure out what meds I can go on. I've like tried all the SSRIs, and my psychiatrist said basically I have this thing called long term treatment resistant depression, uh, which means that pills don't really work. So we're gonna try Wellbutrin. I'm not, if that doesn't work, I have to do this like tapping, like electromagnetic therapy, whatever. But I don't know, my like biggest issue I've been dealing with lately is I get really anxious just about everything. Like I get really anxious about texting people or talking to people. I will like make up and think that people are mad at me or don't like me, or like will get upset if I reach out to them because like why would they want to hear from me? So that's like what I'm trying to work on. I feel like it gets worse during the winter too with like seasonal depression. But so I'm trying to come out of that box and be more confident. It's always like funny, I think, because people think I'm like super confident, but I'm not really. There's like with my line of work, it's really interesting because you're constantly told what you need to do to look better, because when you look better, you do better with work. So that does a lot for someone. Does quite a bit. But I've been just like so awkward lately. Like I've had like an issue where I can never, like people can never really read me anymore. I like I think I had like a big issue over over like the summer and like earlier in the fall because I was like talking to this dude. I don't think he knew I liked him. And so we stopped talking. And I think that's like just kind of my issue, or like people can never tell I actually want to be friends with them. So I'm trying to work on that stuff as much as I can. And that's my goal going into winter break. I saw this TikTok once again, love referencing TikTok. That was like, you're only gonna be this young once, and I was thinking about that, and I was like, why am I like scared? Like, I'm only gonna be like this hot and like this young one time. This is my last year of college. Like, I might as well do whatever the fuck I want, and if people don't like it, so what? Like, I had this speaker come into one of my classes, and they were like, you need to just stop caring what people think, because once you do that, that's how you succeed. Like, being scared and being embarrassed is what like kills people and makes them unable to succeed because they're worried about what other people think instead of just doing what's best for them. So there's some inspiration going into winter break. I don't know. I honestly may come back for some of inner term and do my show a little bit because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to live with my family that long. But I hope you guys have like a really amazing winter break. And also just want to say, if anyone from Chapman Radio is listening, Radio DJ was off when I came in here and I turned it back on. That wasn't me. So don't blame me for that. But I hope everyone has a really good winter break, and I hope I talk to you guys again. And if I don't, like, I love you guys, and this was a great semester, and thank you for tuning in and listening to me blab in the middle of the night once a week. It means a lot. I hope I could give you all some knowledge of at least something from this. But I hope everyone has a really happy holidays. And for now, I'm signing off.